Hello, everyone. You may be new to this channel, and I welcome you. And there's other people that are the OGs. Thanks for watching. I want to state this. How many times have you heard over the course of many years now that Elon Musk is connected to this and Elon Musk is connected to that? But there's nothing to really back that up. And if anything, it's just projects that, reference something that Elon Musk might have mentioned. How would you like to actually have 100% confirmation with actual research to prove that crypto.com, yes, you heard me right, crypto.com is connected somehow to Elon Musk? What platform would that be? Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Consider sticking to the outline. You want to hear how I found this information. So I am not going to rehash what everybody else has already put out there. Like, you've seen plenty of thumbnails, crypto.com, AMA. Hey, there's been some great people out there that already covered that. But I will put some emphasis at roughly the 47-minute mark of that crypto.com recent AMA with the one and only Kris Marszalek, co-founder and CEO of crypto.com. I've gone ahead and fast forward to this key area. Listen to this. And if anything, stick to the end of the outline. I'm telling you flat out, don't have time, watching 2x speed. There's chapters, wherever the case be. Listen to this because you want to know something? Crypto.com's CRO. I'm telling all my friends, family, what little family I have, Crow is a must own. And it was my top performer, my top three, I should say. Last bull run, 2021. Turned 1,700 into 10K. That didn't make me wealthy, but I'm telling you flat out, they have got something really huge on the horizon. And if you watch that whole AMA, you could tell that Kris, you can't hide that. He is extremely bullish on 2025. So I'm going to play this key area and we'll connect everything. I promise you. I promise you. This is the one you want to listen to. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. Here it is. And if anything, let's play this. Here we go.
So even if other people look at it, they probably can't copy it. Or they can't execute it at scale. So that's okay. But there are some projects where we think we're being first to market really matters. And Cortex is one of those, our AI project. So we are working on this, and I will not be able to tell you what it is because it's just too cool.
He won't be able to tell you? Well, guess what? I'll tell you. For real, I'll tell you. So check this out. Let's take you over to the crypto.com roadmap. All right. So for 2025, and if anything, he mentioned Cortex AI. As you can see, that's Q3 of 2025. All right. So area of emphasis, and don't get me wrong, there was many things that other people covered as well. But I just want to state this, the whole thing of Singularity API sounds very bullish. Cronos ETF, right? Other people cover this, but some area of focus is AI-powered trading tooling, and more importantly, this top area where you see plain as day Cortex AI. Okay, so he mentions in this AMA, like, you give us a hint, or you could look more into it, or you could DM him, wherever the case be. I don't know if he spills the beans. I mean, think about how many people would DM him. I mean, how long would it take for you to get a reply? He might not even DM you back, right? So area of emphasis is Cortex AI. There's this little symbol next to it, icon. That icon is basically this right here. And as you can see, that's a satellite. Okay. Now think about this for a second. All right. It's like, why have that? Because he knows there's people like myself that are going to look into it. Well, call it what you want, but that's interesting. And more importantly, as I get further into all of this for you guys, well, when I did a simple Google search for this key term of, for example, Cortex AI, and I typed in right next to it, satellite, believe it or not, this video came up. I didn't type in, Elon Musk. No, I didn't do that. And that's, of course, what led me to this. So I'm going to go ahead and share this as well. I'm not going to play the volume because it's just, going to play like really loud fans, but I want you guys to see this, if anything. So let's go ahead and play this. This is inside Tesla's Cortex AI supercomputer. Let's go ahead and play this. Here we go. So as you see, I mean, it shows, the inside. And this facility, by the way, is in Austin, Texas. Okay. So this apparently is the brain, if you will, of, Tesla, and especially like the Robotaxis and so on. Thought I would point that out. Okay. So as we get into this next part, I want to share you some more things. I'm going to take you straight to diadata.org. And it's this Web3 AI map in regards to Cortex. Now on this one, you're going to see right here, the key area. It's this area where it says the ultimate Web3 AI map, developers, tooling, and more importantly, infrastructure. Okay. As we click on this, because some of you guys are going to say, well, I don't see any mention with this stuff that you're talking about in regards to Cronos. How am I supposed to know if it's the same thing, Max? I mean, there's a lot of things called Cortex. Hey, I'm with you. But when we click on this, okay, it will take us to this. And more importantly, it's this key area. So as you see here, you have Cronos listed, alchemy.com. Okay. So that's the database side. Database Web3, SDKs, Web3 libraries. You kind of get the gist. Okay. So if you think this is just a big coincidence that Alchemy doesn't really have anything with crypto.com, I would like to refer you to a blast from the past. This is from altcoinbuzz.io in 2021, January 2021. Crypto.com, Alchemy partner for Crypto.com chain development. Alchemy will power Crypto.com with a developer platform to simplify the use of Crypto.com chain to build the phenomenal applications. Okay, so we confirm that. As we take you to this next part, the area of emphasis is also going to be on this. And this is a gentleman right here, this older fella. Nothing against him being old, of course. But anyway, his name is on X, Tesla Larry. Okay, you can follow him. Great material and so on. He was featured with this other particular gentleman, and I at least want to give him a shout out because he deserves it. His name is Brighter with Herbert. Herbert, basically. Herbert's got a big platform, 90,000. You can watch this entire thing if you choose to do so. It's called Elon Musk Master Plan for AI Cortex Revealed. Okay. I already watched this probably like twice now. Okay. So I've gone ahead and locked it on this key area. We're going to play this. Listen to this. Here we go.
And so I think the energy issues are very complicated, very difficult, and nobody's in a better position to understand the energy issue than Elon.
Yeah, so this is a post by Alex, and he was saying that just a car company with gigantic water cooling infrastructure for a little thing called Cortex, probably nothing. This is a photo of Tesla Gigafactory in Texas, and the south center is the Cortex, what Elon and Tesla's calling Cortex, which is the massive data center for AI. And Elon replied back saying Tesla's big brain for AI training.
So basically, it is the supercomputer. Okay. And again, Tesla's AI brain. Think about that. Okay. And on this area, you're going to see a key highlight. So the first thing we're going to do is highlight some of the partners, technical and academic partners, CRRC. Now, why? Well, CRRC is a Chinese state-owned, publicly traded rolling stock manufacturer. Look what it says. They provide, for example, Chinese state-owned company that manufactures the world's largest in terms of revenue in regards to rolling stock. But they offer manufactured high-speed trains that can reach speeds of 350 kilometers an hour. CRRC is developing autonomous rail rapid transit, which is trackless. And more importantly, look what it says, guys. Advanced autonomous capabilities. Think about this for a second. Because Tesla stands out when it comes to, obviously, Teslas are autonomous. They're looking to go autonomous, especially with this whole thing of the newly introduced Robotaxis, right? With Optimus, and, that's a real thing. So that's something to point out. Thought I'd bring it to you guys. And more importantly, is to also bring you over to here. Max, you stated that You got this whole thing in regards to Elon Musk. Yes. So jumping back actually for a brief moment, here's the other emphasis right below Amazon. Okay. And that is this university, called Tsinghua. Probably not pronounced that right. University. It's been around since 1911. Okay. So again, why even bother sharing this? Well, if you go over to sem.tsinghua.edu, you will see an article that was published all the way back in October 12th of 2018, and it says, plain as day, the advisory board of Tsinghua University School of Economics and Management, 2015-2016, announced new board members, and that included Elon Musk. Okay? That is more than a coincidence, okay? And here's the other thing, because some of you guys want to hear possibly about, more of the whole thing of X and payments. The new advisory board member, Elon Musk, is CEO and product architect of Tesla. We already know that, right? And it says, for example, reference the whole thing about payments. But they put so much emphasis on him and the highlight, of course, of him, because let's face it, I mean, why wouldn't they? Right? So they have a whole column devoted basically to Elon Musk. So that's definitely worth pointing out. Now, you may feel as though, well, that's it. No, that's not it. That's a pretty big deal, though. But I want to share with you this AI on blockchain in 3 minutes, Cortex, because I want you guys to see, for example, how it all basically comes together. So I'm going to actually play this quick video, and you're going to see right here. Actually, not this one. It's the one called What is Cortex? Cortex CTXC Machine Learning Blockchain Explained. This is only about 3.5 minutes, but it will give you a good understanding of like how the smart contracts work, all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. We'll be right back.
In the crypto space, there are not many public blockchains with the AI integration. However, Cortex Labs is one of them. As a peer-to-peer, open-source platform, it provides strong support for a range of AI models. So let's start with what is Cortex. An open blockchain network called Cortex Labs makes artificial intelligence usage possible. Through the platform's decentralized applications, developers can also build smart contracts to create practical apps. The CTXC token, which functions as an ERC20 token on the Ethereum network, was utilized prior to its chain establishment and construction. Right now, Cortex blockchain has CTXC as its native currency. The purpose of this token is to be used as a fee for the execution of smart contracts and transactions. Endorphins fees, which are comparable to Ethereum's gas fee, are paid to the AI model providers in addition to miners, who assist in packing the block on the full node when a transaction is initiated. Okay, now let's examine how exactly does Cortex work. By integrating AI smart contracts to the Cortex blockchain, the platform enables any developer to create smart contracts, which react automatically to outside signals, even ones that programmers are unable to foresee. Furthermore, Cortex has a system in place for offering rewards in order to promote teamwork. It is open for anybody willing to submit models for its optimization on the Cortex, as well as to optimize models that have already been submitted. Prizes are also awarded to those who contribute models, which fosters an environment where everyone is motivated to participate and find the best solutions. Finally, let's present features of the Cortex. Smart contracts with AI. With Cortex, users can create blockchain-based AI programs that, once authorized, can be sent to other smart contracts. Cortex uses unique smart contracts that are different from those of other chains because they can be programmed with the data required to deduce a specific outcome. Framework submission model. Cortex offers a submission interface for learning with the off-chain solution, which involves giving virtual machines model instructions. That way, it creates a link between algorithmic vendors and computing, enabling collaboration and transactional activities among ecosystem members. Intelligence Inference Framework. Global machine learning researchers are able to upload trained corresponding data models to the Cortex Intelligence Inference Framework's storage layer. When users need these AI models, they can use them to deduct expenses and pay suppliers. Cortex Virtual Machine. When it comes to the efficient integration of machine learning models into smart contracts and DApps, the Cortex Virtual Machine, an EVM-compatible framework, can be used.
Okay, very educational. Glad to share that. It gives you a quick idea of how that works. I'm going to take you back over to the cortexlabs.ai site. And what you're going to see here is this key area. So it's going to come up on your screen in just a moment. And it basically is this. It's this whole thing of this particular statement, if you will, in regards to Cortex blockchain. Why am I sharing this? Well, I want you to understand that, Elon Musk is really big on, for example, open source. And what do you see here? Cortex is an open source peer-to-peer decentralized blockchain that supports AI models to be uploaded and executed on a distributed network. So interesting to, of course, see that. And more importantly, it's also understanding some other key things, which brings us to this. Sometimes you just need to see a visual. Once again, September 3rd, 2024, Tesla's Cortex supercomputer, the backbone of its Robotaxi ambitions. Again, think about everything that's came out this year, where there's Optimus with the robots, the Robotaxi, so on and so forth. Because guess what? Sometimes you just need to see a little bit more about this. And what do we see here? I'll play just a little bit of this. Cortex supercomputer. Again, backbone of the Robotaxi ambitions. Listen to this, and then we'll tie in the rest of it, telling you flat out. This might be some of my most important research. I really appreciate everybody that's listened so far. Here we go.
As its lead in the electric vehicle arms race starts to wane, Tesla's solution for staying ahead in the future is to focus on autonomous vehicles. But how it supposedly aims to make cars drive themselves is different from other players out there. It involves gathering colossal amounts of video footage from millions of its electric cars worldwide, processing that information at AI-powered data centers, and then packaging that into software updates before sending them over the air with the goal of making Teslas drive like humans. To make this a reality, Tesla has started building giant data centers at its gigafactories. One of these facilities is being built on the south side of the company's headquarters in Austin, Texas. The system at this complex is called Cortex, a supercomputer cluster that will run on more than 100,000 NVIDIA H100 and H200 graphics processing units, GPUs, for video training of the Optimus humanoid robots and the full self-driving FSD system. CEO Elon Musk shared a video of Cortex this morning. Even though the facility appears similar to other data centers, the whole environment gives off a high-tech, futuristic vibe. It's one of our first ever looks at the supposed technology behind the technology. There appear to be countless aisles of black server racks with tightly stacked hardware placed behind glass doors and casings. Thick bundles of red and blue cables seem to snake between the racks, and there's a loud hum, possibly emanating from the overhead cooling systems. Speaking of cooling, the facility has gargantuan fans on the roof, probably the size of an aircraft propeller, or even bigger. Tesla is using a patented cooling system for the same. Moreover, the Texas supercomputer will apparently require 500 megawatts of power in the future.
Okay. So obviously, it needs a lot of cooling, but, nice to see some visuals in that regard. Taking you to some of the other key findings and why it's all important. This is going to be in regards to this site called Tech Startups. I'm going to share this on your screen. It's going to come up in just a moment. And again, I can't skip some of this stuff. So I want you guys to see this. Databricks acquires machine learning operations tech startup Cortex Labs, reported originally April 25th of 2022. Why are we getting so much into this? Well, it's the key people and the key players. More importantly, it's understanding that we saw a while back that this company that was San Francisco based, and let's face it, X is still, Tesla isn't. I understand that. But again, there was an acquisition agreement. And in that agreement, the entire Cortex team, including co-founders Omer Spillinger and David Allahu, of course, joined the Databricks team. Now, think about this for example. Back then, it mentioned that Cortex will also enable Databricks customers to scale production ML workloads reliably, securely, and more importantly, cost effectively by helping their data engineers deploy ML models in production without worrying about DevOps or cloud infrastructure. The announcement comes just about 6 months after Databricks raised $1.6 billion in a Series H funding round, pushing the company's valuation, at least at that time, from 28 billion to 38 billion. Okay. And this series, was a H round that was led by Morgan Stanley, Counterpoint Global Fund. All right. And other big investors. All right. So check us out. I want to take you over to here because what's also worth pointing out is from US News and World Report, you're not going to believe this. Literally yesterday, everybody, the report states Thrive Capital is in talks. Yes, in talks to invest about $1 billion in Databricks. Okay, keep in mind the date, November 13th, yesterday. States from Reuters actually is the original source. Thrive Capital in talks to do this acquisition, but Thrive is expected to be a lead in regards to a share sale, and they're also known as a tender offer for the company. Now, what's also interesting is last year, like it says, according to analytics, intelligence giant Databricks was valued $43 billion after it secured more than $500 million in a funding round led by T. Rowe Price. And of course, a little bit back to that citation, but here's the emphasis. Venture capital firm Thrive earlier this year joined a group of investors in OpenAI $6.6 billion funding round. Say what you want. I mean, that's Grok's competition. But with sources saying it committed $1.2 billion with an option for $1 billion more next year. And like you see, Databricks' primary product is a technology for holding huge troves of corporate data in a way that makes it easy and easy to access and analyze. Okay. So recent report. All right. So here's another thing that's also really interesting. If you take it over to here, it says the deal is Thrive's latest major stake in large Silicon Valley startup. The VC firm, founded by Joshua Kushner, led over at OpenAI's tender offer, which closed earlier this year, significant investment payment platform Stripe. Interesting. Look at this. Talks about the Snowflake Inc. competitor. What a name. But they make software and they use AI. Okay. And they've been able to raise big sums of money from private markets. All right. They also, of course, given the option to hold off an IPO. Now, as I get more into this, if you get into this, it's interesting to see this, like from jobs.thrivecap.com. Thrive Capital portfolio careers. They highlight, for example, like SpaceX. But as you get more into this, look what it says. Because remember how we mentioned Stripe? Well, straight from, and I'll blow this up more. It's a simple Google search, but look what it says. Straight from Fortune. Fortune states Stripe could be valued at $60 billion after investments, but reported originally on January 31st of 2023, Thrive Capital has previously invested in startups like Warby Parker and Elon Musk SpaceX. That is incredibly interesting in connecting all of this. And check this out, just in case you weren't aware of it. Reported originally on October 4th, yes, just last month, OpenAI is now worth more than 87% of the S&P 500 companies. It faces a tough test ahead. Yeah, no kidding. And this other thing to get into, just in case you're wondering about Joshua Kushner. Kushner, on the right here, being interviewed by this lady from Fortune. Kushner has quietly propelled Thrive Capital to the forefront of the AI revolution. And more importantly, why is that such a big deal? Well, as I show you just a little bit more about this, it's understanding that you have all of these connections and all of this reaction to a reaction. If you think about it, action, reaction, supply and meets demand. Say what you want, whether it's that university that Elon Musk is connected to, and so on. There is no denying that crypto.com, let's jump back to it for a second, is literally going to be at the forefront of a lot of this because of what we saw here, and that is Cortex AI. Like it says from crypto.com roadmap, Q3 2025. And say what you want. I mean, that was incredibly interesting because we know, especially when it comes to AI and autonomous vehicles and Tesla and the Robotaxis and Optimus and so on. AI is a real thing, but let's face it, everybody. This little thing of this, and I'll zoom in again, this little satellite, that bugged me because as we know, Starlink, think about it. Was that the little hint that Mr. Kris Marszalek was giving us? Could very well be. But if anything, really glad to bring this to you guys. All right. Promise I'll give this to you. So here it is. This is straight from coinmarketcap.com. You can get Cortex, which is ticker symbol CTXC over here. And no, I'm not paid by them. Geez, there's always going to be somebody who's going to point that out. But anyway, not too bad on the circulating supply. So listen to this. They have a max supply. It's just shy of 300 million. Okay. Circulating supply is 225 million. So you're not really fighting too much of an uphill battle here. And let's face it, we're in the, bull market now. It's up 25.5%. And this originally started all the way back in 2018. All-time lows were March 16th of 2020. And more importantly, I mean, as far as where you can get it currently, you would think it'd be on crypto.com. It's not right now. But you can get it basically on some other exchanges, for some of you guys, outside the US. But there's Binance, there's OKX, of course, MEXC if you're outside the United States. And as I get more into it, let's see here. You're just going to have to go through this and see if there's one that happens to be American that you're comfortable to get this on. All right. So interesting. Okay. And we'll have to see how this pans out. But check it out. They have X. They have a website. Everything. They have a current market cap. It is verified, by the way, of 54.68 million. And they are doing a decent amount of volume so that there's liquidity there, 5.55 million. All right. So I thought I would just obviously share that with you guys. Glad to do so. And with that said, we'll continue to follow this. But man, CRO is an absolute must own in my book. So simply do me a favor if you listen to the entire outline and type this into the comments. Channing. Type in CH as in Channing Harrell. Why is that? Because if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have watched the whole AMA. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. Know what you have, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next one.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Say goodbye to complicated setups and hello to Decent Wallet, the hassle-free solution to your digital currency needs. With just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.